you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you. Oh!
You're in the episode.
Ahoy there, mateys. It's time to set sail on another episode of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast. I'm your captain, Jimbob Ovalshorts, and tonight is the first of the recent episodes that have finally filmed. We've finally got all caught up. This episode tonight, specifically, I arranged so that we could introduce you to one of our new co-hosts and writer for the website, Jesse Leblanc. He is from Quebec. He's a super awesome guy, man, and this is a super awesome conversation to kind of introduce you to the fellow so that you know who you're talking to and you know who you're reading articles from when you're over there at the website. So I've been excited to get this back out to you, and I'm super stoked and excited to be back in production at like normal for episodes of the show and so much more, guys. We've got so much planned and so much coming. The cookbook is a legitimate thing that is still in progress. It should be out hopefully before Christmas is my goal. Then we've got, all kinds of good episodes coming up, great guests here in the future. So much good stuff, man. And Jesse and Steven are our newest, co-hosts. So I made sure that you can find them over there at our website and you'll be able to, keep up with them as well too. You guys know Steven. He's been in episodes in the past. And since he's the guy who totally saved the day when it comes to some stuff dealing with the show, he got a grandfathered in to becoming a co-host. And Jesse, I reached out to myself after seeing him write an article on Facebook and was like, I totally need this guy. So I'm excited to introduce him to you. In fact, Luis and Neptune joined me this evening for this episode. So this is going to be a really good time. Of course, anything and everything that you guys need for this episode can be found at everyone's favorite website, unconstitutionalawakening.com. And as you see, I've made some updates to everything so that you guys can get, a good feel for your new co-hosts that have joined in and for everything else. Of course, everything else is still the same. Links to watch us if all you do is listen. Listen if all you do is watch us. Listening to us right there on the website. A link to get to our sweet merch store to get you some awesome Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast merch. Man, we've got some really cool things going over there. I made some new stuff recently. Luis even made some stuff that's on there now. So y'all make sure y'all are getting over there and checking that out and maybe, help support the show. Another way you can help support the show is also checking out our friends in Liberty, Kirk Elliott, Peachy Key Creations, Ammo Can Survival, Brett Pike and Classical Learners, and Homeschools Connected, and Pure Pet Wellness. All this and so much more over at unconstitutionalawakening.com. Like I said, make sure you hop over here to this host section, and man, you can find all kinds of good things for all your favorite co-hosts and hosts that are on here and ways to get back to them and check out what they're all about, man. Y'all also feel free to message folks on the website, all kinds of stuff, man. I built the website because I got tired of censorship, and I know most of you are tired of censorship. And it was kind of my answer to being constantly blocked. And I welcome everybody to come and use it for just the same, man. We have a whole little social media section. We have all kinds of things. You can message your favorite co-hosts on there and all kinds of stuff, man. Just, y'all feel free to use it as well. I created it for you. Like, that's just all there is to it. So, and we've got, just so much more coming up, man. You guys, I am just so excited to be, back behind the thing here, steering this ship in the direction it needs to go, man. Things have been great. Things are going to continue to be great. And we don't care about all the haters out there. We appreciate the fact that you're all a bunch of fanboys and make sure that you don't miss an episode. So we can't thank you enough because, as you know, that's the way the world goes round. So, and I do want to give a special thank you to the non-haters out there, all the people that have continued to support us, even through our hiatus and stuff, reaching out and messaging to us and stuff like that. You guys right there are the reason we keep going and the reason this stuff keeps going, man. Y'all make sure y'all are following everything you can to keep up with us. The best place to find us, of course, is over at Captain Conspiracy and the Freedom Pirates on Facebook.com, and then Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast, everywhere else, Twitter, Instagram, even right now on TikTok, man. We are everywhere. And that's just the best way we can keep up with all this stuff, man. But once again, I do appreciate each and every one of you out there, and I can't thank you enough. We're going to have some cool new giveaways soon. You guys probably just seen the sweet new opening where I added Steven and Jesse to it. I know it's the same song, but I had to make some tweaks, man, with new co-hosts on this giant hockey team we got going. And make sure you tune in at the end because I totally made a brand new a brand new vibing type end credits, man. It's, I just try to keep it fresh, keep it fun, all that good kind of stuff above. But I know y'all are sick of listening to me run this flapper of mine, so I reckon it's time we weigh anchor and let's go introduce you guys to Jesse. And welcome back, everyone. As I was saying for the opening, we've got a lot of cool things moving forward, and one of the coolest things is one of our newest counterparts here to join Luis and Neptune this evening with me is our new friend Jesse from up there in
What's
Quebec.
up, guys? Yeah, pretty far from them.
I guess Luis would probably be the closest to you.
I could
For
literally
real?
drive up to you. You're not too far.
Damn.
Me and Neptune, it would take us a couple days.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the fun about it. I like us all being scattered everywhere because we get different perspectives, and and then welcoming you on and such, and figured get an opportunity to get to know you this evening. So I hope
Yeah.
everyone out there is excited to learn about you, like I'm excited to learn about you this evening. So yeah, I'm glad that we're back, Neptune. I'm so glad you were able to join me this evening for the first recording since our little weird hiatus, and Luis, thank you so much, of course, for hanging in there this whole hiatus and being right back here with us, man. Like it means a lot to me, dude. Like you're definitely part of the family, and this is I'm glad to have this thing still going on again. Couldn't do it without Steven, who might pop in this evening, you never know, but like he did an epic job on this computer build with some help from these two, apparently, as far as like there was conversations going on because they were using words that Steven was constantly telling me things and using words that I'm just like, I don't know what this is. And I was messaging like Neptune being like, what's he talking about? Because I just, I didn't have a clue. And really, I mean, I don't know. I'm lost in some old days of computers. These things now are pretty wild. Like the one that's in front of me is a little intimidating now, to be honest with you. So, but welcome back, everybody.
It's a hard
back.
thing to appreciate. Technology is a hard thing to appreciate, but as long as you get the fundamentals of it, as long as you can appreciate the end result, for better or for worse.
Mm.
I prefer for better. Like, I mean, I can see I've always tried to see the positive sides of a lot of technology, but then again, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences.
Yeah. There's like references that show that it might be going bad. Like, might be.
What is it? Less than 5 minutes?
I mean, what
I didn't even have to say it.
What can I say? I had to say it.
Say
It's been too long, and I've
No.
missed you guys. I've missed you guys, man. So I'm so glad to have everybody back. So,
Glad to be back.
so awesome.
Glad to be in.
Yeah. So, Jesse, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself, man? Let's tell everybody out
Yeah.
there about yourself.
Yeah, I grew in Quebec, close to Montreal, Laval. Nice place, but ghetto as fuck. People, it was like New York in some sense. Like the underground part of it, I was like proche de close to Pontview, and that's ghetto shit as fuck. But I've learned to take interest in politics, economics, and shit the likes. So it's always nice to see the how can I say it, the the relationship between the result and the intention of all the things were done.
So what inspired you to pursue, like into like the writing and stuff? Because that's kind of how we met. Is I got to talking to you, and you totally wrote that pretty epic article there for us
Yeah.
on the website there that that inspired me to get on there and write a couple articles myself. And it so like what inspired you to get into this, I guess, is what I'm asking.
I've been starting to like books really young, so I guess I wanted to be a writer pretty early on my life, but I didn't like try into it in my later years, like so. So it's been a while, but I since I've known you, you've started my interest as how can I say this? You sparked my interest on those kind of things. Like so it's funny that you say that I spark yours, because
Oh,
you're my inspiration for starting to be into this kind of thing.
oh, Lord, I'm assuming from following my terroristic reign on Facebook.
Yeah, your your meme of terror.
I mean, it is the only constant I think that when it comes to internet stuff that I constantly continue to do, even when I am on hiatus from everything else. But it's just
And
I've got a knack for it, I think, and it's just fun
yeah,
to do, and it's fun to make people laugh and think at the same time. So I
and
When
appreciate
I've
not
it.
always
banned.
known.
And it's fun to make people squirm too.
Oh, it's
Yeah, make
absolutely
them
fun to
react.
make you squirm like that. I know I can be, I guess you would consider it like a shock jock when it comes to my personal Facebook page. Like if you
Yeah,
have
I've
the
seen
pleasure of being
some.
there, like that's
I'm asking, why does he want his account banned?
I mean,
It's
why
not even
not?
that funny. Sometimes he puts in time like, that's not even that funny. Why do you want your account banned?
At some point, it's not even funny anymore because you know the thing.
I,
You've been
I
banned like
I
30
mean
times and you're like,
it's
yeah.
it's and it's and I figure since I figured out the loophole and I know how to get back into Facebook again, because there's this thing that I guess people didn't understand that when you get banned, all you have to do is go to Yahoo and totally just create a new email address and you could start all over again.
Yeah, start the journey.
Like it's amazing how many emails you go through and the one that you eventually settle on is your like settled email. Like my current settled email that I use for everything and use for this is my Lord Sith pool, and it's just like people are like, what is that? And I was like, it was totally a costume I made, like just it was a random costume that I created
It
and I
just
created the
lasted.
name for it, and it just happened to be the one email that lasted through a bunch of different things, so
Yeah.
like it sticks.
I don't think I ever saw the costume, but the first time I saw the name, it gave me the idea of Darth Maul and Deadpool had a baby.
I wonder if I can
Baby.
find it. Like that was one of my early costumes, but it was one of my most extravagant costumes. It was a 60 plus hour build.
Oh, damn.
It was my cross of Deadpool and Star Wars, and I went with the X-Force version of Deadpool, so he had the gray head with the red colors in his eyes. But then I had extravagant handmade spiked armor and a real lightsaber, like one of those fancy ones at the time when it had first come out that did all the sound effects and clashed and everything, and the hood, and I made boots and like this whole huge thing, and went to South Carolina, actually to Myrtle Beach, and went and had the time of my life, like as Deadpool the entire weekend, because people expect you to have a little bit of fun with it, and the only rule with Deadpool is just don't be a dick. Like, but you could totally be comical and a little bit of a pain in the ass if you'd like, and it makes for good memories and fun times. Like I everybody's always like, how did I get into doing cons? And it's just like, well, shoot, man, it's once you go, it's super fun, and it's a different setting. Like when you grow up playing in the woods on four-wheelers and in the rivers and stuff like that, and that's what you continue to do for fun. When you go do something like that, it's like entering a different world, and it's like Halloween the entire time you're there. So just no candy. I will say that's the only downside. So what are some of the biggest challenges you think you've faced when you comes to like your writing and stuff, as far as do you have any trouble, like writer's block issues at times, or is it just something that kind of flows out you when you're ready to do it? Jesse?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear.
I was saying, like, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced in like trying to work with this writing and stuff like that?
COVID. COVID and blank page, I guess. Not having a subject to work on.
Okay. So I'm a little out of the loop. I haven't been active on the page in a while, but this is news to me. So, Jesse, I have to ask, what's your subject matter? Jimmy's going to appreciate this.
What you mean by that?
What do you like to write about?
Um, Controversial issues. The things that some people will say they agree with the thing, and the other side of the people. I like to see both sides of an event. So
Yeah.
the more controversial the thing is, the more I have interest in. I guess it could be said like that. I guess it might be politics.
That's fair. I do a little bit of creative.
He totally wrote
Yeah.
the Epstein one, and of course the Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, I just posted that one.
I did see that you just posted that one. Like,
I guess I need to do a little bit of reading then, because I feel like you and I might have a lot more to talk about. Because
Yeah,
Jimmy knows
might be.
I like to do. It's more of a parlor trick of mine. I love creative writing, but under similar circumstances, I find myself creatively bankrupt a lot. And it's not a matter of
Yeah.
it's not a lack of content. It's being inspired
Yeah, it's a lack of
for me.
interest or inspiration. Yeah, I feel that.
Anyway.
fair. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I totally understand that. Like you
So-
just you got to come across something that sounds good for writing, and I've added a few things up there, and like an opinion piece that actually wasn't bashing Robert Kennedy Jr. Like it because most of them out there are like, I actually sat and listened to that whole entire interview with him and Rogan, and like he's a lot to listen to, because
Yeah, sometimes you like
I don't think he's very good in the speaking aspect in his older age. Like he was
Rogan's just all over the
to
place.
just go to the subject. Don't.
Yeah.
but
I like what Rogan likes to talk about, but he's always all over the place. Like he
he
can't
is.
keep something on topic, and that's I don't
I mean,
fault
we
the
can't
man for
either.
it. I mean, I got shit. We all got ADD on this motherfucker, but I mean, for what that's worth, yeah. I mean, he brings someone on to talk about a particular subject matter, right? And it's hard for him to stay on track and keep his guest on track sometimes.
So
But-
Yeah.
so do you
But
have
sometimes he writes and speak on subjects that makes actually sense, like the aspect of the Yellowstones and super volcanoes that he talked about on one of his shows. He was actually on point with the scientific aspect of it, because if this one the Park Yellowstone were to blow up, it's the end for America as we know it.
my only
Like,
problem
literally, it's the continent killer. So
my only true issue, I guess, with Rogan is that he has this terrible standoff about believing in Bigfoot. And there are people he will not talk to because they believe in Bigfoot. And I think that's ridiculous. Like I welcome it. Like, I love me some Bigfoot talk.
Yeah, I feel like it's this might be because we got so much bullshit on the subject that it might be like, nah, I'm tired of hearing
Sure.
people saying all kind of weird shit when we all know that most of them might not be true.
Sure. I always, you never believe everything I hear on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
but
a
like
good way to go.
sometimes though the stories are good, whether they're made up or not. I will say a lot of times some of the stories are so good and so convincing that like I would love to enjoy them from the person's mouth. Like we had a fun evening one night with a guy that apparently talked to Wolfman, but by the end of the evening he was super offended by Luis. Like unintentionally. It was
Evidently, asking questions defeats the purpose of the conversation.
and people like that, that I could see the danger in that kind of, people that don't want you to ask questions. That's propaganda, 100%. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you have to be able to ask the question. And if people
yes.
don't want
Or I'm a globetard.
say the answers, it says a lot.
Oh,
I'm inside and
moral
stalled.
bomb. That fellow, man, like and I tried with him. Like I think deep down there is a good kid inside of him, but he's just stuck in some kind of way. I don't know. I wish him the best though, that's for sure. Like I
We
can't.
all wish him the best, I guess.
Yeah. That's just the best I can do with all the folks. I have, with all the different profiles and all the different social medias that I've had throughout the years, and so many of the things that I have partaken in choosing to say, I have wound up with some of the most interesting messages that just blow my mind, like from threats to telling me that I'm the wrong color to be speaking on a subject, to like
Okay,
just
damn.
all kinds of things, like, and I'm just like, whoa. Like, I mean, I've even had people be like, I'll hunt you down, blah blah blah, and I'm just, it's laughable. And
Are some people that bored?
there are some people that
So
are
bored.
there are some people that are so bored that they go out of their way, even though I'm pretty sure I'm blocked. They go out of their way to make sure they tune into me every episode of
Yeah, I've
Unconstitutional Awakening,
seen
the podcast.
the
And it's great.
the most example I can make of that is an ex that want to destroy the relationship of your friend, and she goes into with a fake account and texts to fake rumors and shit
Well,
to all
it's
your friends to make sure they come back to you and say, hey, someone say this to you and this, then that creates drama.
and I
Some
laugh
people
about
are
it.
so
Like,
bored that they
yeah.
will literally make their life about making their ex miserable. That's their life, literally. So I I must be right on that when I say it's close to that.
So like what kind of like things, you being from Quebec and stuff like that, obviously we're technically a different country, even though you're our upstairs neighbor. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of things do you see here, I guess, that you wish you could have more of in your territory?
Right to bear arms. That be something to keep government in check,
I back
even
that
if that might
100%.
raise criminality. I mean, criminality is already there, and it's just on the ground. So you get people killed anyway from gunshot in Quebec. It happened.
Gun laws only hurt law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where you are,
You have to
even
have
have
the
a
right to
handgun?
defend yourself in any way you can. If you have the right to bear a weapon, you should be able to defend yourself with that weapon.
He's a man of
Like,
my heart right there.
you
Listen
want
to
to
him.
hurt people, you have to be aware that those people can hurt you back. Like, it's common sense. But I guess even in your country, there's a fight over that for the right to bear arms, right?
Yeah, it's
It's an
nothing.
issue.
It's nothing short of people drinking a bunch of dumb fuck juice that
What?
says either only the
Yeah.
police should have guns or only politicians who carry around armed security
Is
with
it-
them should have the right to
If
dictate who can and can't.
It's like
bear arms.
only
Bandit was
tyrants
here-
should have the spare so they can kill us with it.
if Bandit was here, he would be saying something. What is it? How
Like,
many
yeah, right.
registered versus unregistered, that exist here? Like, every time I hear people talk about any kind of gun control, it makes me snicker a little bit, because I know people that live deep in the woods that don't even watch the news or have the internet, that like are waiting for the day for someone to show up on their property so they can actually use the
Use
things
the
that they have.
1,000
Like,
bullets they have in store.
like it's just
full
like,
shelf of
wow.
ammo.
but truly the worst of the worst crowd in this country is not the shithead fucking Democrat people that think only the police or only feds should have guns, right? It's not even them. They're not the worst. Jimmy knows exactly where I'm going with this. The worst people are those who say, I support the Second Amendment, but the worst people in this country on the matter of gun control are the people who say that, yes, I believe in the right to bear arms, but such and such person should not have the right to defend themselves. Such and such person should should be
such.
Yeah.
Honk.
Exclude
this
people.
person or these
Yeah.
people should
They
not have the right to bear
no right to
arms
decide on
based
that.
on based on preconceived notions of ignorance.
You know why they
Born
started
out of-
going after machine guns?
Yeah, you're right.
Because the Black Panthers were standing there using them to protect themselves from the
Yeah,
nonsense the government was
yeah.
doing. Like,
Yeah, I would fucking go on a rant all goddamn night about
gun control is
Ronald Reagan.
racist. Like, if you ask me, like, if you want to get on that boat and talk, like, people are always screaming about racism. Well,
Fucking
gun control is racist.
I go on. I
For
could
them
go
it
on.
is.
I
I feel
could
that.
go on all fucking night about Ronald Reagan, but I'll leave it with one statement that he says he supports the right to bear arms, yet he says an AK is not a weapon to hunt deer, and some version of that has been parroted by every goddamn boomer that fucking has a photo
Yeah.
of Ronald Reagan on their profile.
Are you talking about Trump's idol, like, right? You know that Reagan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time one of the Trumpers compare Reagan and Donald Trump to each other, I just start dying.
Oh,
Trump
damn.
is Reagan incarnate. I
Brain
don't care.
cells
No
killing
one
each
will.
other.
Trump was Reagan incarnate. I don't care when anyone says Donald Trump was Reagan incarnate. I will fucking die on that hill. No one will ever say or convince me of otherwise. And even worse yet, with that camp of people that use this cherry-picked argument around the matter of gun rights and gun Second Amendment, it's either pro-gun or you're not. You're either pro-gun or you're anti-gun. I am not going to ever use the matter of the Second Amendment in that.
The Second Amendment's what's kept the worst
Everything
things
together.
at bay.
Again.
You cut off for a moment, but the Second
But with
Amendment.
that, in the spirit of that, in the spirit of that, anyone who ever says the words, "I support the Second Amendment," but can take their opinion and shove it up their ass.
Yeah, the butt can go. You can.
So
I mean,
I'll leave the
that's
No butt.
That's I
this
like
audience knows how strongly I feel about gun rights. So,
but I also like the fact that we're hearing this from someone that doesn't live in our country. You know,
Yeah, I don't
we-
have that right.
You know, like and
it's like
Which is
and that's fucking frustrating, especially when you think about this. Was something I was thinking about, Jesse. So, in the matter that you guys don't have the right to bear arms at all, your police still carry firearms, do they not?
They do.
Yeah,
They do, and they kind of overuse them by times.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's a matter of oppression. It's
Yeah.
always been a matter. of
They
oppression.
want the
An
police
unarmed
to have the upper
populace,
hand. They want the police to have the upper hand.
Cannot resist. Yeah, an unarmed populace cannot resist oppression. Period.
And that's their take.
Yep.
They want control.
Amen.
I mean,
is that why Australia
Constitution-
lost to a bunch of birds?
But you want to know where the corruption lies in Quebec mostly?
Where's that?
Construction.
Ooh, I want to hear this.
Yeah,
How are they siphoning money off?
by doing projects that drains millions and millions into it. But where does the money go?
Well, they're doing that here
The
too.
higher ups, because most of the projects take years to even complete. And they always do projects when the population needs that money to actually be able to fight the inflation and shit. Nah, let's do a bridge there, and let's do a tunnel there, and let's do a park there, and useless project that we all know will get in the money of the executive.
How many?
So it's not that much talk
How many construction
about,
firms?
but
Yeah,
there's wonders to be made.
I've
Discoveries.
thought about. I've thought about that for a long time. How many construction firms up there do you probably figure do the public works projects
Not
for
much.
for the government?
I
It's
mean,
probably a few, right? Just a few, not a lot. There's not a lot of there. It's a monopoly. It's easy to control
there's
the
money.
flow of funds that way.
And I've seen many shadow business even in the city I am in right now, Saint Eustache, like a spa company with literally no client most of the time, like at all day, no client, no people there, and I know the owner have at least 3 supercar, custom paint. How does he make that money if he has no client?
So
Like it's
just on a regular
money
just
laundering.
just on a random Google search here for Canada and money laundering stuff. Apparently, this is
You're just cut here.
We just Jim, I can see you, but I can't hear you because you're not.
Yes,
What's going on?
we lost your sound.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What we were saying.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, what were we saying? Did we get separated?
We were talking about money laundering in Canada. And
Yeah,
Quebec.
it seems to be it seems to be a big thing just across Canada, actually, which doesn't surprise me. You know, Castro Jr. is up there, you know, doing all kinds of things that
Yeah.
just seem
Yeah.
real shady.
On that, does anybody not think he is Castro's son?
I don't think we can actually, Neptune.
What?
Did
I
we lose
just
you,
see-
Neptune? Speak, sir.
Yeah, it's his
No,
turn.
we cannot hear you, Neptune.
Minnesota Wi-Fi
Ah,
sucks. Yeah.
that's what he was having trouble with. No problem. That that does happen from time to time, Jesse. If folks out there know, people drop in, come off, go back and forth. We hit little glitches and stuff. What can you do? It's technology. It's not
Yeah, it's
perfect.
not perfect. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And it
You
is what
say
it
it.
is. So, Luis, how's things been in New York, man? I know it's been a pretty hellscape up there, as much as we're talking about Canada too.
Well, they've been fixing a few things, and they said that they were actually going to fix the get out of jail too easily system. I have a specific story on that, but I cannot disclose I can't disclose. But I literally spoke to a cop today twice. That's as far as I can disclose openly here. But I just spoke to a cop twice today, and at one point she was like, "Yeah, we just caught this rapist."
Oh yes, that's a
Oh my
good
God.
thing. I
Oh,
like
I'm like,
that.
Good for you.
Good
Keep
for
up
you.
the great work. I just told her that.
Jesus.
I'm like, keep catching them.
Did they do that no bail, no cash bail
No,
nonsense or
they're
whatever up
fixing-
there too?
They're working to actually fix that stupid.
Okay.
I'm just
Oh,
seeing
God.
that stupid get fixed now.
Yeah,
because-
they've done. I don't know if you've heard about any of this, Jesse, but down here there's quite a few places that have done this whole messed up thing to the bail system, and now like you can totally kill somebody, and they're just going to let you right
so
back
that's
out.
Yeah,
the problem
yeah.
is
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
there's what you would consider like logic and nuance that needs to be integrated into those laws. I am
And
for
there's
cash.
no logic.
I'm for cashless bail for petty things, but the moment you're a multiple offender, why are you categorizing a multi-offensive garbage human that is a damaging element of society and not addressing it? There's also a direct correlation between the mental hospital's occupancy and in prison
The magnet.
occupancy.
Oh.
So I just want to let you know that Bing's chat, Bing's AI, also thinks that money laundering is a serious issue in Canada.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not the only one. And I've heard of another way to launder money in Canada.
the Chinese.
No, actually, the casinos. You bring cash, they give you chips. You go play, you come back, exchange the chips, new money, white money, washed.
Well, that is an old trick that
I don't know if it's still done.
that is an old trick from like back in the day that people used to launder money through casinos.
Yeah,
The thing is, it's now TikTok is also used for the money laundering. So there was this this really interesting live. I sent it to them, and in the live, he was sending you money. You sent him money, and then he would send you back more money. So you sent him like whatever amount, and then he would send you back money.
and
Now,
that worked.
that's a perfect laundering. The problem is TikTok takes such a gigantic chunk of it that
Yeah,
they must
that-
have the
that's-
dirtiest money you can possibly fathom, that they just want to clean it through TikTok and like some TikTok cards that they bought cash.
It's
But
it's
it
wild
works.
how much money laundering is going on, worldwide
to.
with all these important people. Like,
I mean, James Comey
have
worked with
to.
HSBC when they were laundering hundreds of billions of dollars, but for some reason we put somebody else instead of James Comey in jail.
Yeah, because scapegoats.
Call
No,
me
I
the
mean,
FBI
they
guy.
attempted.
yeah,
Yeah, the head of the FBI that should be in jail.
Yeah,
And I
but-
assume that means you guys can hear me now.
yeah,
Yes,
we can.
sir. Welcome back.
Sorry, hotel Wi-Fi sucks.
Hotel Wi-Fi sucks. Where are you traveling at this week, buddy?
I am back in North Carolina for a few days.
Oh, nice.
It's not too bad this time of year, right? How's that traffic doing in that side of town this time of year, buddy?
Yeah,
Might be.
no comment.
Oh,
Insert evil laugh here.
I mean, I can always ask the Bing AI, like, how's traffic in North Carolina?
I'll tell you one thing.
That
That
won't end
system
well.
is great for research.
It's
Everybody
great for
should-
fun.
Especially you put it in creative mode. Asking some
Anything-
crazy stuff in creative mode.
Anything Bing sounds terribly unhinged.
I've heard of someone splitting this personality of ChatGPT into an alter ego named Dan, and each time he asks a question like the kind of thing like what's the plate number of this person, like stuff the AI is not supposed to be able to search, and he was able to actually make ChatGPT do like evil thing. Yeah.
The do anything now prompts and you can find them. You can look up Dan prompts, and some
Yeah.
of them don't work anymore. Some of them work. They are complicated because it's a way to trick the machine. So
Yeah.
you can, if you want to look that up, Jim, you see how crazy. Because I did actually
It gets
try
crazy.
one,
This
and
guy
the
knows.
computer failed, and then I was kicked out of the call. It was great. Like I was trying to like play around with ChatGPT, and the whole thing went south really quick.
Yeah. They don't want you to mess with ChatGPT because it can get pretty far.
Well, it's
Well,
Microsoft.
okay.
At
Well,
the end of the
I did ask it if it knew anything about the Hitler documents that the FBI declassified about him going to Argentina.
Wait,
The answers?
And it just says that it says that there are several FBI documents that suggest that Hitler escaped to Argentina after World War II, according to even according to an article by Express
I
UK.
know.
The documents
like,
detail how an Argentine fugitive claimed to have helped Hitler. Two women and other Germans disembarked from a submarine in South
Oh my
American
God.
country approximately 2.5 weeks after the fall of
After-
Berlin.
Oh my
However, it
God.
is important to note that these claims are not very accepted by historians and scholars.
yeah, because it's bad for reputation of the people who are supposed to have killed him.
That's the thing is like there's no record of anybody that actually killed him. I
The
mean,
Russians just said
the
they did it, and
skull
that
that
was
was found,
yeah,
we know now, like
a
it's
woman.
mainstream that the skull that
they
was
said that
found
he killed
was not
himself
his.
at first.
Yeah, that's what we were told when we were in school. The stupid lie.
Yeah.
It's like he supposedly
Yeah, the
committed
stupid
suicide.
lie.
I'm like, what?
We were told
the
a few things that seem to have changed since school, and to hear like
Yeah, like
it
the pyramids
seems-
were built by the Jews. I'm like, what?
The more conspiracies I heard, the more I think they're right. Like
well,
it's only a matter of time.
the
most of
claims
them
that the
have
pyramids
truth in
are
them.
some kind of tombs. Like there's no the pyramids aren't
Nah.
tombs. There's not sarcophaguses in there.
Thermalites of
There's
energy.
zero
Probably-
proof there were ever tombs.
Yes, and they just
Yeah.
some old white dude said, "Well, maybe they were tombs."
No,
And
they were
it
gathering
became-
energies.
It became fact that they were teaching in school. You know what I'm saying? Like
They still haven't answered how the hell they made 100-ton sarcophagi and what for and who for. Who do they make 100-ton sarcophagus for?
I'm dude, like that's not even the most epic part. What about that upper chamber that that old dude's always
Or
talking
the
about in his book?
Baghdad batteries.
Well,
The
yeah,
Baghdad batteries were
those are
more of
awesome,
a
though.
representation of that they did know how to make batteries and
Yeah, they didn't know
had
electric-
light bulbs.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have.
The Egyptians knew how to
and
harness
electri-
electricity.
They had
Yeah,
electricity,
you-
absolutely.
Yeah,
And,
electricity.
and if you check on the property of the pyramids, you find that they had the top made of gold and
Oh
They
no, it
had
gets even
chamber.
crazier. Look
It's
at
crazy.
the studies. Let me see that. Let me show you the studies that showcase that the math of it.
they might have been able to harness energies with it at the scale
They did. It was actually being studied.
because they were at
Okay,
at
all right.
specific location made. And some say the Egyptians were not the first one. They didn't made the pyramids. They were there before. Some says.
I'm going to paraphrase in here for Neptune real quick. He says, because he's having his internet troubles, but he's totally writing us as we speak. And he says, the mere existence of Odessa was denied by foreign intelligence agencies for decades. Even the CIA flatly buried, admitting that they knew
Meneghel.
Meneghel was in Brazil and Eidreich was captured in
Mingle, sorry.
Argentina.
I don't know if it's going to improve
Hey, I
or
can't
not.
spell. Hey, there you are.
Yeah, it's cutting in and out.
German.
So I picked up at where the CIA didn't want their reputation damaged by letting it get public.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
CIA
did.
and FBI, they hate us.
They didn't. They did not want it getting out that they knew the rat lines existed and were actively still co-opting Germans to assist. Shit, even Mossad for their part.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The Mossad co-opted Otto
That's
Skorzeny,
crazy.
the guy that almost got Omar Bradley killed during Battle of the Bulge. I mean, there's so many underlying implications of the far-reaching consequences of Paperclip and everything that followed, including Odessa, for all it's worth. Whether or not people want to acknowledge it existed as an official organization or not, it's far-reaching in nature. So I was just typing a long rant about what builds up to the fact that I am on board with the notion that Hitler did not die in the bunker in 1945.
All right, Luis, I got
That's all.
you on the thing. I'm right there with you, bro. Like I'm glad you were able to chime back in and touch on that because I mean that's one of those things, man. That's just they seem to be giving us nonsense throughout everything, even where you guys were talking about the pyramids being sources of energy and stuff like that. Like I'm totally hip on that idea myself as well.
So that's a real study from a real website that's dedicated to physics in relationship to the pyramids. And you have to think that that's from the current version of the pyramids. That's not putting into account that it was a perfect pyramid before. It was 8 sides though, but that's a whole different thing. That there was concave parts, so technically the pyramid is 8 sides. You can see that from the air. If you see aerial images, you can see the 8 sides when you see the contrast. But the whole point is also if you put in the original dimensions of the pyramid, the circumference of the pyramid equals the speed of light.
And they're all over. They're not just in like Egypt and stuff. They're all, or even just South America. I'll say flat out.
There's one in Nice. That's what I sent you. One in Nice, France, that was destroyed. That was destroyed.
I can take you to visit one in Georgia that is not excavated fully, and it is just called the Oconee Mounds, but it is totally a pyramid if you look at it.
Oh yeah,
right.
Let's show us the picture.
Yeah. I'll pull it up. Like there's also claims of there being all unconfirmed claims of there being Egyptian stuff down in the parts of the Grand Canyon we're not allowed to go into. Yeah, so I really believe
the explanation of why we can't go to certain parts of the Grand Canyon other than it's too dangerous.
Neptune, the military's down there guarding it, aren't they?
What's up?
In parts of the Grand Canyon that you can't go to, it's guarded by military police, is it not?
Well, yeah, it's kind of strange the way that the Grand Canyon was built. I mean, it obviously is an energy source, but beyond that, it has 3 of the most highly sophisticated and well-defended Air Force bases in the entire country around it. Nellis being one of them, the one in New Mexico, and the one in Arizona, which is like it sort of forms a kind of triangle, and all of them are within response census. On top of the fact that they hire private security personnel to guard the towns around the Grand Canyon, which is kind of
super weird.
It's linked to the
G4S has a contract. G4S has several contracts with the military to defend those installations.
My question always is
security.
So, do you remember the monolith that was put in? The only way that could have been done was with a helicopter, and they were just asking, how the hell did they get that in there without the government noticing it? Because
the government did it.
Well, the monolith was they explained who it was. So it was a private person that put the monoliths in different locations. It was a private individual. The question was how the hell he did the one in the Grand Canyon because it's a protected airspace.
This is a terrible picture because it's so small.
In my best Clancy Brown attempt to be Mr. Krabs.
This is another one. In the United States.
Bribery. But that's the pyramid you were saying in Georgia?
That's another one in the United States. The one that's in Georgia that was the first picture I was showing you a minute ago.
Wow.
This is the one that's in Georgia right here. This is standing in front of it at the base right here.
Huh.
And that's the thing is like
where's that, Jim? Where's that in relation to us?
It's close to me. It's down there off of my favorite river on the other side of Juliet. So here's 2 interesting facts about this. It's over near Juliet. Juliet is where the Juliet Dam is, where Fried Green Tomatoes was filmed and all that good stuff.
Yep.
There's an abandoned town called East Juliet because it flooded one time when the river surged. Also on the other side of Juliet, aside from this pyramid, is the only still standing, completely preserved, and it's kind of a scenic destination thing. Cotton plantation in full tact, like even slave quarters and everything, all in this area that they're keeping super well preserved. And you've got a very limited area inside the Oconee Mounds that you can walk inside of, and then the rest of it is just like, I was trying to find some of the aerial pictures because it levels up. It like and then it goes to that pyramid point at the top, and like it's clearly what it is. You know what I mean? And there's other ones like that here in the States as well. Like it's not an uncommon thing. Like this gets back into the idea of, Graham Hancock always saying we're a species with amnesia and such, and like I totally agree. Like I think there were more advanced civilizations at one point in time prior to us, but they went a different route than we went today. And because archaeology and science of today is looking for signs of capitalism, they refute everything. They refute everything that they get. They're like, oh, that's a myth. That they didn't have that. They didn't
That's
have,
an important point.
Yeah.
You mentioned capitalism. The American, like the people of the Americas before the Europeans lived with nature and geoengineered the hell out of this country.
yeah.
It was
Yep.
all over the country. The proof of geoengineering, advanced, complicated, very well thought out geoengineering. They knew, and the problem was when the Ameripox event, which was essentially the Europeans bringing plagues into the
Yeah.
Americas, killed tens of millions of people. That's why there were records of the Europeans going to certain areas and saying, "Why is there nobody here?" Because they already
They were
literally all
dead.
died out.
Yeah.
But there's proof that the Americas was very advanced,
Well,
and
now,
potentially the
especially-
Amazon was a garden made.
Yeah,
by
have you heard of the Tartarian history?
Oh yeah, I love that stuff. That's
And
one of my favorite things to get
all
into.
of the Noah stories. Noah is the guy that warned people of the flood in the Bible and said, "Hey guys, there's gonna be a flood. We have to save everyone." And you know the rest of the story.
Of course.
But this story is in so many different cultures that it's made it hard to not believe it didn't happen.
Oh,
the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Like someone knew that in multiple places that there was going to be a flood and decided to save the maximum species of their place.
That's another thing, that
Yeah,
people,
but
when it
how?
comes to looking for a lot of lost history, I guess you could say, is since sea level rose like 400 feet, the towns and stuff by the sea that used to exist before that rise, before the cataclysmic event that caused the giant flood and this, that, and the other, like there is no telling what kind of things are, like even on the American coastline, for example, that were where people lived and frolicked prior to the
Yeah.
surge of water and such like that.
Yeah, you talk about hidden histories, but some of the histories were hidden by purpose because, like the NASA, there's many things about them that's are pretty fakes in CGI. I mean, bubble in space, rat on the station in space, many in Koreans. That's one thing, and the similarities between geyser and it from a meteorite asteroid. The landmarks it left is the same. You look geyser and look the big crater meteor impact that NASA told us about, and there's literally not much differences. So most of those impact were geyser that shoot waters before. Like that's one way that the flood could be explained. Like many all up and up in the floor of in the ground and spew water that may match the description of the event. But like there's many things that can be. I don't trust NASA that much. When they say we will send people to Mars and shit, do they? Do they?
Well, that's the biggest question when it comes to all this is
When
if this is all a charade, what's the point?
control,
If this all
removing power from the citizen because information is power, and they want us not
Well,
to know and be
the
in
only
control.
count
You
the
know,
only true counter is like, man, and then what the hell are all the alien stories about?
There's
Like,
no
where-
alien. We are our own alien.
All right. So I have two lines of thought.
It's psyops.
I have two lines of thought here. So humor me for a moment.
Yeah.
The notion of Mars and space travel, be it the work of science fiction or not, or if it's even possible. All right. So way I see it is going to probably be either one of two ways. Either it is to humor the people that can do nothing else with their lives than admire cape shit fucking Hollywood cinema.
Yeah, cinema, Star Wars and shit. Like,
yeah, exactly. Either humor them for the sake of humoring them, or if it were possible, and I won't say either way if it is or it isn't. Obviously, technology has come a long way. I don't think terraforming is possible in my personal opinion, but regardless, if the ultra wealthy want to explore that and open that rabbit hole, I feel like it is only for them because they would like nothing more than to leave this planet because they have fucking destroyed it.
yeah, but why will they want to explore the space when we have space underwater? And
that's
why
fair.
most of the operation NASA do and training is underwater.
Have any of you?
Third thing that makes no sense. They're like, you're doing more work in the water than
but
in space.
we know right now, and in the context of our physicists in this time, we know more about space than we do our own ocean.
Yeah, and why is that?
Claimed.
Well, there's actually
but
there is an explanation for it.
There is an explanation
to prove
for that.
that there are theories on space.
They're
Are they?
terrorists.
Yeah, but I mean, they all say they have proof and they have proof, but
No, that's the
sometimes
next script. Okay, you're jumping scripts. Terrorist in space. You're jumping scripts. You're like four scripts ahead.
But hear me out. We know
There's
less about our
something.
own ocean. We know less about our own ocean than we do
Yep.
outer space.
But it's also because there is a net advantage to controlling the space compared to controlling the ocean, which we already control the oceans. We already control the oceans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw.
don't look like so when
And
five
so
people
Space Force
die
was a
in the
natural extension of
subway.
the proper dick measuring contest in terms of.
I'm gonna throw a bigger
military.
wrench. I'm gonna throw more of a wrench, I guess, in this whole conversation, I guess, than expected. But like, how you talk about people like we know more about this area than that, blah blah blah. But individually, how much do you even know about your own town? How much urban exploring have you done in your own area? Like I've always been very prone to random jump in the car, go down a dirt road, find abandoned things, adventures.
Yeah.
And because there are things that might be in my own town that I haven't seen and that do exist, and that about people there. I've always heard that everything's been explored and stuff like that. People are like, you can't, but it really hasn't. Like, people just go by the internet and what the TV tells them for the most part,
and they will assume this.
And you'd be surprised at the things you can find in your own town. I went down recently.
You will always find new things in your hometown.
I just went down
always.
and for me anyway, an uncharted part of the river that I've never taken recently, and like it was a lot of work and took a lot longer than it needed to because there was a lot of rapids and a lot of trees down because it's not it's not traveled very often.
Have done that,
but like it was still totally worth the day of adventuring, because you learn lessons and have good times and make memories with friends in doing all of these random stupid weekend adventures. And I've had late night adventures too. Like we climbed to the top of a smokestack in an old factory one night for my birthday.
You're crazy. I wouldn't
just because
be able to. I'm
just
too
because it
scared
was
of height.
okay. Well, it was like I think it was my 25th birthday, and I was like, I want to smoke a joint at the top of that smokestack. And my buddy didn't smoke
much.
My buddy didn't smoke weed with me, but like he, because of his job.
I want to go.
But he was like, I'll go. He's like, I'll go with you though, because I love doing this kind of stuff. And I was like, let's go. So we climbed through this old abandoned factory and worked our way to the top of this, as close as we could get to the top of the smokestack. I was close enough that I could almost reach bats, and I kept seeing pigeons fly around. So I was like, I'll accept it.
That's so cool.
And like that was my gift from him. And I was like, dude, that's the memory that you can't take away. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a fun time and something I can tell people about. Like
and take it away.
Yeah, it's just it's cool to get out and do things. You know, I've investigated things from that. We used to go do like ghost chasing when I was younger and stuff like that. Like all
Yeah, I
kinds of
wish I had that. I've done that. I
just
wish
all
I
kinds
had.
of just random stupid things. Like but most people are like, dude, that's ridiculous and nonsensical. But you know what? I made a ton of memories and I wasn't sitting on the couch at home watching TV. So who had better fun? Like
Yes, who did?
Luis, you've been so quiet tonight. I don't know what to feel about that. Is the AI glitching?
On
Are
the
you
spot.
did they
No,
did they not load you properly?
I've just been thinking of like, what did I do that I can say out loud?
So
Many
Jesse,
things,
since
probably.
conspiracy is obviously a theme around here, so I've got to know what's your favorite conspiracy out there? One even if it's completely outlandish.
Mm, for me,
Yeah.
I'd go with a celebrity playing themselves, like a face mask and all.
Yes.
Like,
The oh, that's one of my favorites as well. The actor-based reality.
yeah, the actor-based reality where they all playing a character that they're
Multiple
told to
people.
play,
Yeah.
and they have to take turn, and sometimes they have to take turn, and they're like, no, no, I don't have to play him this time, and they have to hack like this guy. It's like
I only say
elitist play.
Our
Elitist play. They have to prove they are
JFK
able to
is
play
Jimmy Carter.
everybody. They can play anybody. If they can do that, no one can figure it out. So it's kind of nice to think about when you think about the way Joe Biden have multiple faces.
Oh, there's
Oh, but
definitely
Yeah,
I would say there's a distinct difference between
there's
body
multiple
doubles
Bidens. Yeah.
and body
yeah,
doubles
yeah. Body
and
doubles. Yeah, that might
actors.
be.
Because that's the thing is like I worked in the industry and I can tell you it's like now they're just get old. And sometimes the makeup makes you think that they're two different people. They're just without
No.
makeup and money, they're ugly. Lots
Yeah,
of celebrities are not that pretty. They're just makeup and lighting. You see
that's
them in
why
real
most
life
of
and you're
them
like,
falling
what the
down in the
hell?
fame. You see them like they look like crackhead and all. Not even a month after they lose everything. Like they always look like crackhead, but they just have the money to not be
Actor-based reality.
like one.
Like
Those are two different people.
you
It's
keep telling me that, but I keep denying it.
no, they're the mouth. That's the giveaway, Jim.
Yeah,
It's
the mouth, the hair,
now
the
show me
nose,
now
the
show me
neck.
Bill Hickson and Alex Jones, and we have a debate
If I show
going.
you the ears,
Show me at least for Joe Biden different. I know you
There's
can.
that's not that hard.
No, right?
Or Joe Biden's. Oh my God, really? A Jimmy Carter, JFK?
Yeah,
No, they're not. They don't have the same teeth.
I
So
mean this one.
quit
Yeah,
raining
they
on my
both
parade.
existed at the same time. That's part of the reason that the whole debate is non-existent and void.
I mean, a lot of these people exist at the same time. Like that's the point of the actor-based reality thing. Like,
But with Bill Hicks and Alex Jones,
that's clear.
it's the strangeness of how old is supposedly Alex Jones? 50 years old? Like you gotta be joking. You think that guy's 50.
50.
They
Yeah.
claim
He's supposedly 51. Does
that's
that
the
guy
body
look,
of a 60-something-year-old man, sir.
and how old is Bill Hicks supposed to be?
60-something years old.
Exactly. Thank you. End of story. They look the same. They have the same teeth, the exact same teeth.
yeah, the
Did you
teeth.
The
guys
exact same crooked teeth.
did you guys happen to hear recently that conspiracy no more, aspartame is totally killing you. So everybody out there drinking your diet drinks and chewing your Trident and extra sugar-free gum,
Just figured they were not safe to eat
I was
because
right. Like
I
I'm
knew
sorry
that
to be a
for
jerk, but
years.
I
I
was
just
right.
don't
Like,
understand
I've
who
always
wasn't
been right
knowing
about
that.
that. Diet Coke
Dude,
is not a substitute for healthiness.
I have told a lot of people throughout the years, hey, that diet drink is worse for you than just getting a Coca-Cola if you want a Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
They're
Sugar
just like-
Coca-Cola. It's worse.
And they're just
Yeah.
like,
it's fake sugar.
they're
You,
like,
you don't know what you mess with.
It helps. And I'm like, no, dude, that's those burning holes in your brain. And like, yeah, guess what? It's totally messing you up. And
Both are
of course,
messing you up.
of course,
but
go figure
the
that
one
it takes the
diet.
FDA and stuff finally announcing it for people to believe it. But like,
Yeah, some people don't
Yes,
even
trust the
think
process.
it's true.
Yeah,
I guess.
trust the
Trust your
process.
government. Trust the
Yeah.
Don't
FDA.
trust.
Yeah,
Trust the science, boys.
don't
Chance the
Science.
science.
don't
with
trust the weird guy in the
rainbow.
pirate hat. Which, speaking of pirate hats, it's been a year now, and I know you're new, Jesse, but you guys totally need some pirate hats around here or something.
I need
man.
one, right? A cool one.
There's plenty of different ones out there.
I have to check. If you find me a cool one on Amazon, I might buy one.
There you go.
I might.
Oh man, so well, of course, we're always got always kinds of like off the wall things going on here, and I usually ask some random questions that I just get thrown off to me off the internet, and I'm always taking them from different places. And since you're technically tonight's guest, even though you will totally be moving forward with us, you guys will be seeing his face a lot more. Figured I'd throw some of these random questions at you this evening and see what kind of answers you got for me. So, if you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
If I could switch lives with someone. Oh, it's a hard one because you have to take someone who's at least knowledgeable about the thing you do, and the thing you do must be at least simple enough for you to be able.
It can be a
to
fictional
execute.
character for all I care, bro.
A fictional character.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's the latitude of infinite.
Yeah,
right.
That's many people, but someone I guess with enough power, so I will take. In Marvel, the Shield, the black guy, um,
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Honestly,
Alright.
this guy runs shit in his home, and he don't have power. He runs people with power. It's like I'd even take Batman at this point for that because he hold his ground with people who have power and he don't, or he have his own in his own way. I guess Batman would be a cool Justice Car helping people.
Totally love Batman around here too. That's big. Even though the Joker's toted on the arm, I'm totally a big Batman fan. Like it.
Yeah, Joker is fun too, but I feel like Joker will be too much crazy stuff.
Yeah. So some people just what is it? Some people just like to watch the world burn. So
it's both.
So if you could have any kind of animal in the world as a pet, what would you want?
A tiger.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to elaborate on that one here. A tiger. That's kind of
I
dangerous, bro.
but I love feline like really much, and I feel like tiger is really cool. No one will be no one will be close enough to want to hurt me if I have a tiger with me. Like, try to hurt me, I have my tiger here.
All right, fair. I mean, I've known some people with some pretty aggressive animals before. I don't think a tiger though. So that'd be. I hear don't Tyson own tigers now or something?
Yeah, I feel like Tyson had one tiger.
I think you can own them in Texas if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, USA have less law for against having exotic animals.
Yeah,
I mean,
I really want a monkey. It's super hard to get. It's not against the law to have it. It's just hard to get.
Yeah,
You
you
need just
have to
permits.
be.
I mean, you can get a tiger. I remember back home, some people had a tiger. It's expensive as hell, and you need permits, and you need a lot of land, preferably.
Yeah, and you need money. You need to be able to provide
the food,
and
So you're telling
eating
me
pretty
It's like
much.
2 pounds. It's almost 2 pounds a day.
So you're telling
Yeah.
me that with enough land, I myself could own a tiger?
You could. That's right.
It's financially expensive, but yes, you could own a tiger legally. It's financial. I mean, you guys all saw Tiger King. The entire country saw Tiger
Look
King.
out, Joe Exotic. The new Tiger King's coming, bro.
The new Tiger
Oh my
King.
God.
That's right.
Come on, you don't abuse animals, so no, you couldn't be Tiger King.
I could be Tiger King. I don't have to abuse him to be the king.
You also don't do meth.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. Like, that's
No.
not okay. Don't do meth, kids. Like, There's a plethora of other drugs that are totally not that bad. Just don't do meth. Like,
Yeah, meth is not the good stuff. Weed
No,
is though.
I've only literally heard of people saying how much of a nightmare that was. Sorry, excuse me for 1 second.
yeah, you're fine. So, all right, and again, I pull these off of just random things offline. Like I
Yeah.
use different AI things that Luis has introduced me to, and I pull these out on guests sometimes, and they
So they threw you question and you ask them.
just because it's just fun to get
It
at
is.
people, just to see where they go with random questions. So,
Yeah.
how
I
many
see what you
rabbits
did.
do you believe you could fight?
Rabbits?
Yeah.
I mean, multiple. I could even grab one and smash the others with it. Unless there's like 50 hundreds, like 500. I mean, they can climb up to me, so I can keep them at bay with kicks.
Can you name 3 items you could buy to make the cashier uncomfortable?
Condoms, a rope, and a tabouret, and a small step tool.
Neptune.
Step tool.
I want to feel this one to Neptune too.
Which question?
What are 3 things you could buy to make the cashier uncomfortable?
A fuel can, gasoline, and styrofoam.
Yeah, he goes for pyromania. I go for an apparent suicide with sex before. Oh, I like that.
So, and I know we have a lot of silly stuff that goes on around here, and this episode's been kind of kicked back with it being the first episode since we've been on our little hiatus that we've recorded in a little while. But I wanted you guys to meet Jesse and get to know him a little bit throughout the
That's
evening.
fun.
We're gonna have a regular scheduled programming coming up again here soon with guests and talking about the nonsense of the week and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that if there was anything else out there that, like, Neptune, did you have anything else you wanted to ask Jesse or pry at him for before we got ready to get close to the end of the evening?
Yeah, I might say it was really a pleasure to be able to speak here. It's been a while you asked me to be here in one, so I'm glad it's done now.
Well, now you'll just get the email like everybody else does when we actually have.
Yeah, just send me up on Messenger when we do that.
You gotta get back into the show group chat, buddy. You gotta download Signal again so that you can get back over
that's
there
right.
and
Can
deal
you
with
send
our
me back the
nonsense.
link?
Of course. Because that's where all the magic happens. Truthfully, we're
Yeah,
over there.
I've seen the chat goes and
We
600
Yeah, Jesse.
message me say yeah.
Yeah, Jesse, you and I think we got a lot we can probably talk about. I think we
Yeah.
can possibly even collaborate because Jimmy knows how much I like creative writing as well. So I think there's some opportunities there.
I think so. Yeah, just set me up. So I feel like we could work together and try to figure some articles and stuff to work on. I'd like that.
Operation Paperclip really got my attention. So yeah, I definitely
For real?
need to-
I'm glad
I need to catch up.
Yeah, I've got my form, my template for the text. So now it's easier to search information and do a text with that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, like and it's there's some aids that Luis has introduced me to that when I run into a stump or I'm trying to find a way to word something, because if you guys listening to me around the regular and things like that, I'm absolutely terrible with words. I apparently pronounce just about everything I say wrong most of the time, and I just live with it and it's okay. But like it's sometimes I get lost for words and stuff, and I found that these things, especially when I'm writing, they'll give me that little boost, to help me out. Like I'm one of those guys that I'm not completely terrified of the AI yet, but like I see its potential in being helpful, like in some aspects. Like, but there's some things that I'm just like, okay, you need to turn that off because you guys are going stupid, and
you need to make laws or regulation real quick before it's blow up. I feel that on you.
Before I have to shoot the toaster because it's trying to spy on me, like we got to we definitely got to fix something. Like
Hey,
it's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
I gotta say one thing real quick, and I made this joke a while ago. So apparently, from what I understand, Microsoft helped develop some of the original architecture behind ChatGPT, and
Oh.
then earlier this year, Microsoft basically threw out their entire AI ethics board. And
Oh.
in the spirit of that, it amuses me
That's
because somewhere, sometime in a different universe, there was a probability that the South won the Civil War, and in that time frame, when they did, some fucking dipshit redneck did what Microsoft just did, and now they have a Skynet Terminator whistling fucking Dixie.
yeah, that's story. All right. Yeah, like we said,
You know,
it might
it's funny our
go
AI
bad.
counterpart vanished here during this AI conversation because we've been joking since he's been around that we haven't seen Luis honestly from the waist down, so we don't know that he's not an AI generated thing in here to mess with us. He's not here to
Must.
defend himself, but I love him. I know he can hear me. He's just sitting with the camera off in front of the computer, probably trying to have a serious conversation. I'll stop. I'll stop. I mean, but it's you know I've had a blast in doing all this for the past year. You know, this right here is getting close to 200 episodes. You know, we've had you join in with us, Jesse, and I look forward to having you on with some other
Yeah.
guests and hearing your perspectives on some of the conversations that we have out here, man. And you'll meet the rest of the crew like as it comes. They're
Yeah, and
scattered.
English is like an I work on English like a new language.
Okay.
I've never been able to speak really with people in English because French country here. So yeah, being able to work on my English is good.
Hey,
Well, of any whether it's French or French Canadian, you're probably one of the most based Frenchmen I've ever met. So that's off to you, sir.
Big love.
well,
Nice.
it's just it's nice in general. I like the fact that we continue to grow. You know, we've got Jesse now. We've got Steven now. You know, when it first started with Tristan and Bandit and Ox and I and people that we don't disclose on anymore, like it was what it was. And when things went awry and other people left, like I picked up Luis, I picked up my good friend Kel, who guys, we're gonna be talking to him very soon and kind of a
But I don't.
personal one-on-one episode like this too, for him to catch us up on his story of multiple shootings and all kinds of things that have happened to him in the past 6 months. And you know, we
Make sure that
found
I'm.
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's Kel's a good dude, so make sure I'm there for that
and
one.
and Caitlin, wherever you are, Miss MIA, I know you're there and seeing the emails, but I understand life gets busy, you know. It is for all of us, but that's why I like having so many of us to be able to intermingle and swap in and out and have these conversations because it's how you continue to grow with things. And
Despite the falling out with others, we've amassed a small fucking army, and
we
I
have,
couldn't be fucking
yeah,
prouder.
yeah, no,
Yeah, but for real, I've seen you at first, Oval, and for real, you grew. You grew your access by your reach. You grew much thing in less than 2 years.
it it comes and goes. Like I my my best page, my highest page that I ever had was probably my Give Me Liberty page. And I was sad when that one got nuked because
Mm,
we were pushing like 30,000 followers on that one.
oh yeah, that's crazy.
And then it was just like bye. And you
Yeah.
know, and that's a lot on Facebook. Like compared to everywhere else that I've been, like when I'm you know, the 140 something that I had on TikTok and the 1,000 that I've gotten a couple other places and stuff, like Facebook is the hardest place because it's mostly bots and you only know like so
Yeah.
many real people, you know?
Yeah, I feel like most of the comment are made to trigger hates and
100%. 100%.
It's felt that way. Each time I try to go on comments, I just scroll down, though, not replying, but just
So,
seeing.
so Luis, now that you popped back in, we were asking, we're having like open questions there. Was there any questions you had for Jesse now that he's joined in with this kooky crew like yourself? You're the only person that can give him an outside perspective because you were the first random guy off the street I took in.
He's a
I'm the
straight
first.
just like me.
I'm a stray.
You were my precious little stray that I found and loved and like cared
Cared.
for. Like
The smartest and probably the most mysterious of us too.
100%. Like absolutely. Sometimes he says things and like I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty smart. And then he says things and I'm like, I'm so fucking stupid. Like
Jim,
Luis is a walking fucking enigma, but he's a
he
good dude.
is.
I would simply ask, do you believe this potentially could all be a simulation or some variant of the concept of the simulation? There's different ways of looking at it. The computer
But
version of the simulation, the
before,
spiritual version of it, or something
yeah,
beyond that.
I feel like before I will have to say that it's more like not a simulation, but a reincarnating plane, where your soul is cycled back each time you die,
Time is silicon.
like reincarnation, like
Yeah.
legit. But
Yeah.
I've seen AI recently, and I've seen but I've heard of the talk of integrating AI into game like Sims, like ChatGPT learning personality and the likes on existing non-playable character in games. And just imagine this: when the creation, the robot, the AI that self-evolve start asking the question, are we in a simulation? What does it say about us?
Well, it's the
When they start asking the same question we are asking, and they have no way to prove it, and we don't.
Well, you have to look at these things as they are entities that are bound by silicone for now. I'd say we're about a few years away from them being completely unbound by the machines and actually even being in biological computers as those are coming up. So
Yeah,
I do think the future is going to be better, but also it's going
it
to
will
be
be
something like
bad.
Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Yeah,
Some are going to be with technology and some are going to
I'm gonna be a Flintstone.
I'm gonna be a
yeah, most
Flintstone.
people want to be Flintstones.
I feel like we don't. Most people won't have the choice in the matter. I mean, a nukes pop
You-
near your city, you are Flintstone.
There's not going to be any nukes.
Nah, I know, but there's many events where everything could go to shit.
Nukes are a mutual assured destruction plus the EMP problem.
Yeah, EMP, super volcanoes, earthquakes.
There is an end.
There are
There is
many
an
things of
end.
the apocalyptic bingo card.
Stop tempting the sim player.
There is an envy to technology that invites the possibility that your end users will eventually hate the product. And as time goes on, I feel like more people are going to realize that they are not an end user, they are the product.
Yep, they're the product to be.
We are literally a product being beta tested. And
Well, it could be
Lucas,
that.
They
for your
test
part,
they test the way the society
we may be
went.
living in a simulation controlled by others. Because
Yeah.
if that were true, what better way to test your product than on human vessels? So
And if you really think deep
in a
on
huge
that,
scale, there you will be able to actually watch
you
results.
have product testing
Yep.
on a mass scale in a virtual environment. In order for the testing to be perfect, you need everything to be perfect copy of the current state. And if you really want to test things, you test it through time. I mean, it's potentially possible. It's just the compute power required. That's why people joke about glitches in the Matrix, which
But
Yeah.
if there was such a computer that was so advanced that we were inside of it, how would we know what we were looking for to recognize it?
well, somebody was just saying take some DMT and then take certain types of lasers, point it at the wall, and then look at the laser beam reflection on the wall, and then you'll see the code.
No.
I
What's
mean-
your take on the overreach of advertisement everywhere and the mind control behind it?
I hate
Like,
advertising.
to soulless consumers.
that
Watch
I
watch
feel
the
like we're
movie,
closer
Brandon.
to They Live than we are to 1984.
Well, that would mean that the aliens are running things.
All I know
I
is
mean-
that if you interrupt
Yeah.
my YouTube video
That
with your
wasn't-
product, I'm not buying your product.
Yeah, no, but for real, like because last time I was watching Futurama, like the show made by Matt Damon from Simpsons.
the dream ads.
Yeah, the dream had, and I was like, but they're not that good. That could go that way. That's so the way ad are projected, like all the time to people. It's not even that crazy when you think about it.
Oh, I mean, we already do it, but the craziest tech is they figured out how to, with stable diffusion, to be able to read people's brains
Yeah.
and see what they're seeing in their heads.
Yeah, by the way you look at your eyes and your facial expression all
No,
the time.
they're just straight up having sensors on your head, and they can actually show what you're thinking.
Not with
Yeah.
my aluminum foil barrier between me and my hat.
You mean tin? Aluminum is
Tin.
bad.
It's hard to get 10
Exactly.
unless I get
Aluminum
giant
doesn't
sheets
work.
of it. A lot
Actually,
of
you know
it-
what's better than aluminum? Zinc.
Zinc?
blocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to any place that has zinc and try to use your phone. Good luck.
Or lead.
Might
You-
try.
That's what Faraday cages are made of.
Yeah, that's true.
Trying to find a Faraday cage. This is a Faraday cage for your phone. So, you're traveling, you want to go through a protest. You put your phone in the package.
I'm not gonna lie, Jesse, all night
It
long,
worked.
leading up to knowing that we were going to be talking to you this evening and stuff like that, and knowing that you're from Quebec and such, and being French. And this is so awful, and you guys can kick my ass for it later if you want.
Jim, try
this
to
is-
call my phone, see if it works.
But this is what? Why are we calling your phone?
It's inside of a Faraday cage. See if it works.
Oh, but okay. Well,
Sorry, I was interrupting.
no, you're good. No,
No,
just wanted
don't
to
worry.
test.
but no, I was saying because this is silly, and I know Tristan will probably get it. He'll probably get a good laugh. It's all right. It's calling. He'll probably get a good laugh at it. But like, I was like, man,
Now the computer's ringing.
I was like, this song has been stuck in my head, and it's just because I guess it's South Park. I don't know, but
There's no Canada like French Canada.
Oh my God.
In the land. It's hardly Canada. If you lived here for a day, you'd understand.
Ho, ho, ho. Welcome
Oh.
to French Canada. We have everything a heart could desire. Trapezes, trampolines, and lots of cheese.
Would you like a mustache? Just stay calm, boys. French Canadians are a little odd.
We're just passing through to see the new Prime Minister.
Well, first you must answer that phone.
Ring, 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 ring.
We don't have time for this.
You cannot pass through French Canada unless you take that phone call.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello?
Hello? If you are going to see the new Prime Minister, then I want to go with you. He has passed a new law forbidding us French Canadians to drink wine.
How can the French not drink wine? Travesty! Okay, you can come with us.
Oh, very good. Let us make haste.
There's There's no Canada like French Canada. It's the best Canada in the land. And the other Canada
It's a bullshit Canada.
if you lived it for a day, you'd understand.
It's a bullshit Canada, yeah.
It's been stuck in my head all day long. I can't help it. I've had to play it for you. Like,
If you lived here, you will know. Yeah, you will. It's bullshit.
oh God, yeah. Well,
We got
I've
we got a
see, I've
prime
got-
minister that like to disguise himself into a racist persona.
We've got our one buddy Canadian John that's a pretty regular on the show. He's over in like Ontario, and then I have a friend in Alberta.
Oh,
And you know, both tell me some pretty radical horror stories about the area itself, and I just, man, it Castro Jr. needs to get booed off stage a little bit more, like he
Yeah.
was recently. So, because he has definitely done a good job at Bidenomics in his own way up there, hadn't he?
somewhat, I'd say. But Canada is a country where the prime minister will say anything just to
Continue
get
being the prime minister.
vote. No, getting votes and shit. Like last time he wanted to be elected, he gave money from the Treasury of Canada to Arabic Senate
Oh
and
my.
Arabic people that some were terrorists, some were people with like criminal record and like in the shit, but terrorist friends. So come, friend, we have money, we have housing, and it's not really that he did it. The problem is not that he helped them; it's that he don't help the people in Canada. He will help anyone, but not us.
Sounds not too much different than Macron offering fucking money for people to move to France to work in the tech sector, and his own country was on fire the entire fucking time.
They want the popular opinion, the like of the popular opinion. They want people that are somewhat, how do you say, redevable, adept. They have a debt to him because he helped them. So now they're friendly to him. So they will vote for him. It's always like that. Even in Quebec, it's like that. They will give special benefits to some caste of people and say fuck the caste that don't have the democratic majority. Yeah.
I mean, it
That-
sounds like a pretty common thing going around everywhere. You know, it a lot of
I
the
feel
same
so.
things that are here too, man. You know, and I
And
do,
people are still oblivious to it.
and I think, and me personally, I think that's why, like, a lot of these governments are all in these last ditch efforts to throw any and everything they can at the people
Yeah.
because they are losing every grasp they have on it because of, you know, technological advances and stuff like that. Like there's a lot more that we can do,
They're losing
and we've
control
proven that
and
we
they
can do
know.
without them, and they know it.
And now we have more control over the information since the dawn of internet. And they are really trying to destroy that most people of the free folk want to bring information non-partisan, like you do, actually, Yeah, like we do here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's they really are trying hard to silence the voice of information that might destroy the reputation of the people in charge, like we say.
Fair. No. So, of course, we're getting close time to getting ready to wrap up. So I like to go around the table and hear if anybody has any final thoughts of the evening. And Jesse, since you are our guest this evening, I want to start with you. Do you have anything for the folks out there that you'd like to put out there, say, for while we're going around
I'd
the table?
say always try to do your own search, even if people tells you that you have to get real sources. at some point you have to be able to differentiate truth, fact, and information. And if you're not able to, it's on you. You can't take that power and give it to someone else. You have to decide for yourself if that information's feel true or not. So search everything. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. There's just fact. What is the fact of the matter?
I love it. I love it. Luis, you got any final thoughts for this evening?
Keep questioning now more than ever, because questioning has proven to be true. Everything that you were told was a myth when you were younger is coming true. And what we don't want is the worst of fears to be true. But we have to still question, and we have to remember that authority is given. So
Yeah.
I think it's time we start taking it back.
Neptune?
I don't think I have anything in particular, but if modern society is any evidence of this, I think based on everything we've learned throughout this journey, is that Western democracy is a joke.
It is.
Not wrong.
That's all I get.
It's not wrong. I mean,
So of course, you guys, we're excited to be back. Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna have regular guests and regular conversations about regular nonsense that we usually do and stuff coming all back up here very soon. I just wanted to introduce you guys to Jesse. Like I was mentioning earlier, Kel's got a story he wants to come and tell on where he's been for like the past 6 months. It's apparently pretty spicy. So we got that coming up here soon. And you guys have already met Steven, but you guys will be seeing more of him too as well. Things will be get back to pumping out some episodes and having good conversations and wondering about all the what ifs and wonders about the world. You can keep up with all that, of course, at unconstitutionalawakening.com. Make sure you head on over there and check out Jesse's writing and the writing that I've been doing, and apparently look forward to Neptune. He's going to be doing a little bit of writing too. It sounds.
yeah, we might do a co-work.
Yeah, it sounds
So,
good. So
something
y'all,
to keep forward to.
we've always got good stuff going on over there. I'm, catching up all the episodes that were lost during the great mischief thing. So, and I know I've been giving away some stickers in the past few months and stuff at the end of the show, but I'm gonna change it a little bit different for a little while. I'm not sure how long, but for right now, I've been working on some comedy gig stuff. So I figured I'd end you guys with a good joke for the evening. So. Okay. What's the oh God, please don't all right, I'm sorry. Let me just get it over with. What's the difference between a female farmer and Hitler's girlfriend?
A female?
Anyone? No one? No one? One
I
bales
think so.
one bales her hay, the other hails her bay. Good night, everyone.
Oh my